The 7th Presidential Quarterly Business Forum for Private Sector Stakeholders was as usual attended by some key private sector players. Also, ministers were in attendance to provide answers to critical questions raised by representatives of the organized private sector. Speaking, Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo lamented that the nation's wealth were siphoned through fraudulent deals in the oil sector by few privileged individuals before the 2015 general elections.
In a so-called, I'm sure many of us are familiar with the so-called strategic alliance contracts with the NNPC and the NDPC. The promoters of the companies made away with close to $3 billion US, almost a tenth of our reserves at one point. Now, if there's no way in the world that if somebody makes away with almost a tenth of your reserves, then you're not going to have a major economic shock. And if we don't deal with it, if we don't talk about it, how do we really discuss our economy in any real honest way with a view to ensuring that these things do not happen again? In one single transaction, a few weeks to the elections in 2015, sums of $100 billion and $289 million were just, frittered. Embezzled by a few.
He noted that the federal government remains determined to sustain the economy on the path of growth.
Today, with less revenue, we have increased funding, capital funding, by 400%, as the minister pointed out, in public, in power works and housing, in defense, in transportation, in agriculture. So economic analysis in Nigeria is either fraudulent or ignorant if we do not bring the money lost to corruption into the maths.
Finance Minister Mrs. Kemi Adeosun and her budget and national planning counterpart Senator Udoma explained steps taken by government to fix the economy and grow it going forward.
In Taraba, again, same problem is transportation. 9 hours to get there, yet has the potential to produce enough milk at the right temperatures as well, because it's fairly cold there in the highlands. They can produce enough milk. We don't have to import powdered milk. His problem is transportation in the and power. So when you talk about projects like Mambila that are going to transform and bring electricity to that sector, these are fundamental and transformational projects. And I'm using the example to go into detail so that you can get a sense of the type of reforms that we're trying to drive that we think will completely reposition this economy.
We entered into an agreement with Morocco to revive the abandoned Nigerian fertilizer blending plants. We've reactivated 11 blending plants with a capacity of 2.1 million metric tons. Fertilizer price dropped from 13,000 naira per 50 kilogram bag to 5,500 naira.
The private sector players at the event harped on the need to develop critical infrastructure in the roads and power sectors. From the Aso Rock Presidential Villa, I'm Mikhail Atta, ITV News, Abuja.